Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So inshallah we will start with some very basic Quranic Arabic, so we can focus and understand how we can understand Quran without the translation. And it's very easy if we are committed and we continue pondering on the words of the Quran, we will start getting this sense very soon that how the entire setup is done in the Quran for the Arabic language also. So the two very fundamental things that we need to know is that 99% of the Quranic Arabic words start with three root letters. And we will see that the formation of those. And number two, that when you take some words in Arabic language, especially I'm talking about the Quran, and you make a sentence out of that, each word has some effect on the neighboring word. Each word has some effect and it modifies the sound of that word. For example, in English language, if you have separate words, this, is, and book, you have four separate words, and you put them together, you still pronounce them same as this is a book. Each word sound stays intact. It doesn't happen in Arabic. For example, in the Quran, you will see Rabbal Alameen, somewhere else you will see Rabbul Alameen, somewhere else you will see Rabbil Alameen. You will start wondering, the same two words, when they are put together, why they have three different sounds in them. Okay? There is a very structured nature of this thing. It's not a random or haphazard. Okay? So we will learn all those things. Okay? So before we do that, there are a few basic things, because we are transferring our understanding from the Quran that we read in Indo-Pakistan or Bangladesh. Okay? The Arabic Quran is somewhat different than that, in writing and in reading also. Okay? So some basic things that we need to remember is that some words, for example, we are familiar with this word we call alif. Okay? In Arabic, it is written this way. Okay? This little hamza is sitting on this vertical line, is same as this alif that we are used to in reading the Quran back home. Okay? So for example, if you have the word that we are used to of reading the word Allah this way, in Arabic Quran you will find this written this way. Okay. You will find a little extra hamza. So we don't call this alif, we call this hamza. Okay? So that's very basic fundamental difference in every word. And you will see, if you notice here, I have written down alhamdu. In the Indo-Pak Qurans, you will see written down with this fatha only. Okay? That's one very basic difference. So the other thing is that when we learn Quranic Arabic, we will have to use the different name for the harakats. What is harakats? Is that we know is that we have something called zabar, which is written or represented by line and a little line on top of that is zabar. Okay? Then we have zair, which is represented by a line and this symbol underneath. Then we have something which is called pesh, which is represented by this thing. Okay? So these are the things that we call zair, zabar, and pesh. In Arabic, and we will not be using zair, zabar, pesh, we will be using the word fataha for zabar. AlFatiha, like that. For Zair, we will be using the word Kasra. And for Pesh, we will be using the word Dhamma. So we need to remember these three words. In the beginning, I will use them interchangeably so we don't get confused what we are doing. But eventually, we will have to know that whenever we use the word Fataha, it actually means Zabar. When I pronounce the word Kasra, that is Zair in Indian Pakistan language, and Dhamma is Pesh. Okay. Also, even we know that the sound of Zabar is close to the sound of this vertical line that we call Alif. The sounds are very close to it. Okay. The sound of Zair is very close to the letter Ya. Okay. And the sound of Pesh is very close to the sound of letter Waw. These three letters in English are like A, E, and O. Okay. In Arabic, these three letters are called weak letters. They have some weaknesses in them. And we will see how that weaknesses shows up. So, but just keep in mind that in this table, these are the sounds of the letters. In Arabic, they are called this way. In Indo-Pakistan, they are called this way, and Bangladesh. And they represent these three letters. Okay? And these three letters, Alif, Ya, and Waw, are weak letters. Okay? So with that understanding, let's take some words in Arabic from the Quran. As I mentioned in the beginning, 99% of the words start with three letters.
What would you call weak letters in Arabic?
Huruf illa.
Huruf illa.
Alil. Alil is like sick. So they are sick letters. And the reason they are called sick letters, because when they come in the middle of a word, their sound gets modified a lot. And we'll see the examples of these things, okay? So, but let's start with these three letters. Ha, Mim, and Dal. These are only three letters. There is no connection, there is nothing in these three letters. These are three separate letters. That's okay. Yeah. These are three letters. And three capital letters, they don't have any meaning right now. Okay? Now, when we start combining these three letters and start putting them harakat on them, harakat are Fataha, Dhamma, or Kasra, or Zair, Zabar, or Pesh, then the meaning will start coming out of these letters. Okay? So, and the meaning that will come out from these three letters will be in English close to the word to praise. This is when we make the sentence from the English, this word to praise, and we make a sentence of these three letters, then they will start having the real meaning. Okay? Now the table that I gave you, that is the table we'll be using. But we will just use one. I'm not going to tell you to memorize this thing. We will just use one word at a time when it comes. Okay? So as the background of that, the very first thing that in Arabic is used is these three letters, Fa, Ain, and Lam. These are the three example letters. In Arabic, they are used for learning the Arabic language. The meaning of these is like four English letters, T-O, B-O. So these are three Arabic letters, and actually they are three English letters because O is common here. So T and D and O, these are three letters there. Okay. Now what I am going to do, I am going to drop this letter T and O and replace this by a word he. And here I am going to make another change, that I remove O and put ID. So the word in English became he did. This sentence has a lot of information. What is the information? We are talking about one person and third person, he. We are not talking about a feminine, we are talking about a male person. By here, we are talking about the past tense. So this one sentence, initially these were 4 letters, but as we made some changes in those 4 letters and created this new word, 2 words, this brought a lot of information in. How do we bring the same information in Arabic? Okay, very simple. You take these 3 letters and you write down them connecting together. First of all, Ayn is written this way, and then you put a line on each of them which is called Zabar or Fataha. Okay. Now try to pronounce this, very easy to pronounce. Fa-a-la. Okay. So whenever you put the 3 Fatahas or 3 Zabars on the 3 letters, it gives you the meaning of third person past tense. Okay? So this is the example. The very first box in the table that I gave you is the example of that. Okay? 3 letters combined together with each of them with a fatah or a zabar on them, and pronounce them fa, a, la. Fa'ala means he did. Okay, very simple. Okay, now let's go to the Quran. Go back to the Quran. We have 3 words, ha, mim, and dal. Okay? If I do the same thing here, if I take ha, mim, and dal, combine them together, and put 3 fathahs on one of each, this will be pronounced as ha, ma, da. Hamada. Okay? What is the meaning of this word? He. Past tense, praised. Very simple. Okay? You don't have to make it very complex. All you have to do is put 1 fataha or 1 zabar on each of them. Hamada. It's very simple.
So every time he is coming, so fa'ala also had he, and
Yeah.
hamada also had
He. Right. So the rule is that as soon as you take the 3 letters, these 3 letters, and you write them together, and you put 1 fataha on each of them, and you know how to pronounce this. Hamada. The meaning is about third person, and the past tense. Okay, so he praised. Okay, so that's a very basic rule, simple rule. Okay, and we'll see a lot of the words in the Quran will follow this rule. So it will be very easy to understand that whenever you see 3 fatahs in the Quran on any of these, you can think, oh, this is about the past tense, and this is about the third person masculine. Okay, so that's how you will start identifying the words in the Quran. Okay. So that's the very basic thing. Now, so this was a grammar because this is a past tense. Okay. Also, we can make.
So on that the top line, to praise, you didn't put any fatah, so that becomes to praise.
No, what I'm saying is that in this top line,
Uh-huh.
okay. What I'm saying is that these are 3 independent letters. Okay. You can say that these are like few independent English letters. Right now, these 3 don't have any meaning. You cannot pronounce them. You can say one letter is ha, one letter is mim, one letter is dal. That's all they are. And we don't know anything about them. What I'm saying, as soon as we start combining them and start making these sounds, then the meanings will start coming out from the English that will match to these things. Okay. So first simplest form is 3 fathahs, sound as hamada. As soon as you do that, you will have to bring in English he, and a past tense. So when if you want to say hamada, he praised. Fa'ala, he did. Okay? So that is the grammar. Okay? Now the second thing is noun. How do we make a noun? Noun has many rules. But the simple rule is that you take the first letter, ha, and you combine with a meme, with a sukoon or a jazm, hum, okay? And then you take the third letter, dal, and you put two pesh or two dhammas on top of that. Okay, now we know how to pronounce it. The advantage is that we know how to read the Quran. So that is not a problem. Reading is not a problem. And pronouncing is not a problem. So this is hum, dun. Because two dhammas or two pesh gives the sound of noon. Hum, dun. This is called the noun. And the noun meaning will be praise. Praise. So the rule is that you take the first letter, combine with the second letter with a fatha. So sound will be hum. And the third letter, you just put two pesh on. Hamudun. Okay? Hamudun. If we go back to the example, it will be fa'alun. Fa'alun is a noun. In English it will be deed or action. But that's beside the point. So here is the word hamdun. Okay? Hamdun is the actual word. Hamd, we say hamd if we stop. If we don't stop in a sentence, then we have to pronounce hamdun. You cannot say, for example, Allahu and Akbaru with the two separate words. We'll come to that point. But to keep with this thing, Hamdun is the actual word. Hamdun is the noun. Hamd is not the word. Hamd is not the noun. Actually, hamd doesn't have any meaning. We pronounce hamd because we stop. And in Arabic, when you stop, then you don't pronounce this noon. But the word is not hamd. The actual word is hamdun. All the nouns are like that. Fa'alun, kitabun. It's not kitab. Kitab is not a word. Kitabun. All the nouns end with these two pesh or two dhammas, which give you the sound of noon at the end. This is qalamun. It is not qalam. This is qalamun. Okay? If I stop, if this is the last word of the sentence, then I will say qalam. But you will still write qalamun. In writing, you cannot take these two pesh out.
Is it qalmun or qalamun?
Qalmun is better, yeah.
Because
Yeah, from this it is hum. But then some nouns have different ways. Okay? So in this case it will be qalmun, because we are used to saying qalamun, but qalam, back home. So hamdun, qalamun, okay, kitabun. Okay? So that's very important. Now, the meaning of this word. For example, as I say, kitabun, okay, which I'm going to write down this way. Kitabun. What is the meaning of this word? In English, it means a book. Very important. It is not meaning here book. It is a book. In English, kitabun means a book. Okay? And what is the definition of a book? It could be any book. I can just pick up any book from the shelf and I can say, this is a book. And in English, in Arabic, it will be kitabun. bun. Okay, so that's important thing. Remember that. As soon as you see two pesh here or two dhammas, the actual meaning is praise. So two dhammas and go together. A book. Okay, a praise. Okay. Now in Arabic there is another word which is called al. The word, two letters, alif with a hamza here, which as I said is like an alif, combined with the lam, al. Al means the. In English, al means the. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the noun hamdun, which means praise, and put these two letters in front of it. Okay? So as soon as I do that, it becomes al in the beginning of this noun, and here I have to put the. Okay. The word was hamdun, and it means praise, or kitabun, a book. Okay. So if I put al in front of this, for example, then I have to put it da here. Okay.
Makes it specific.
No, it's not done yet. It is actually wrong sentence right now. Because in English, you cannot say the a book, right?
No way.
So this is wrong English. So what you have to do, when you have to make a specific proper noun or definite noun, you have to remove this a from there, right? So now is the correct statement. The book. And now the book means some very definite, specific book. Not any book. I'm talking about some special book. The book. The pen. Okay? The praise. Okay? So in English we removed a. What we do here? In Arabic, very simple. What we do, we take these two dhammas here and remove one dhamma. It is just like removing the a from it. Okay? Now pronounce this word. Alhamdu. With one pesh or one dhamma. Alhamdu. Pronounce this one. This is now Al-Kitabu. Right? This is the first word of Surah Al-Fatiha. Alhamdu. Alhamdu means the praise. Not a praise, but the. The means the specific, the definite, the 100%, the special, all the praise. Okay? So now we know the meaning of first word of Al-Quran, Alhamdu. Alhamdu comes out from this combination of words. And now whenever we recite Alhamdu in the Salat, we will know what is Alhamdu. The praise. Not any simple, not a book, not a pen. The ultimate praise, the specific, the definite praising Alhamdu.
Would they call all the praise?
All means the specific. That's not it. All brings the meaning of the. Because the is a definite thing. Okay? So in English we brought the concept of the into Arabic, into the Quranic word. Okay? So now Alhamdu is definitely a praise, not any praise. Not I'm admiring a little bit here, a little bit there. But the ultimate admiration. The. Means da, when you give da to something, that Da doesn't belong to anything. If you say Quran is the book, there is no other book after that. So you're talking about the book. Okay? So that is Alhamdu. Okay? Now let's look at the next word. Next word is Lillahi. Okay, let's understand that. So here we can write down Alhamdu means the praise. Okay. Now again, going back to the basic rule, I said 99% of the words will start with 3 letters. Okay. So there are 2 opinions, but the one which I am going to create here, the next word, will follow the rule. These are the 3 letters, Alif, Lam and Ha. Or you can call this Hamza or Alif, Lam and Ha. These are 3 independent letters. They don't have any meaning. Okay. Now I am going to make a noun. Now to make noun there are different rules. There is no fixed rules to make noun. In this one we combine these 3 words, 3 letters, and call it Hamdun. Okay. There are many rules to make noun. Okay. So from these 3 letters I am going to make a noun. And the noun will be that I will take the first one and put a kasra or a zer underneath. So this will pronounce as E. Okay. Then on the second letter, Lam, I'm going to put a little alif there, which will sound like E-la. E-la. And third one is the important one, because always you will have to have 2 pesh or 2 dhammas on the third letter. Remember the rule is that whenever you see 2 dhammas or 2 pesh at the last letter, that's a noun. Okay? So the word is pronounced ilahun. Ilahun, if I write down it together, it will be ilahun. When this ha is written at the end, it is written like this. This is just a different way of writing. If this round ha is the last letter, then we write it this way. Ilahun. It's a noun. Okay? What is the meaning of noun? A God. All nouns with 2 dhammas have an A in it. A book. Kitabun, a book. Hamdun, a praise. Ilahun, a God. Just A, any God. It can be an idol, it can be your desire. Anything that you worship is your ilahun. Anything that you have love and devotion and submission, that particular thing is ilahun, a God. Okay. Now let's add al before that. Same thing we did with alhamdu. We are going to add al before that. So as soon as I put al before that, now these are 2 words, al and ilahun, right? Al means the. Al means the. Again, the sentence is wrong here, because a and da are together. So you remove this da from here. Okay. So what is left here? The God. The specific, the definite. Okay. In English, we write down the God as capital G, God. Now it's not any more God. It's not an idol. It's the one. Okay. And the God is with the capital G, the ultimate God. Okay. So that is what we did in English. We learned what we do in Arabic to do that. In Hamdun, we took out 1 pesh from the last letter. always it is the last letter which takes the hit. It's the last letter of the noun which takes, anything goes, it suffers. Okay? Any change we have to make that last letter suffer. Lot. Like in kitabun becomes al-kitabu, the last letter. Bu. Okay? Hamdun became hamdu, last letter. In this case, ilahun will become ilahu. That's the rule. If you remove a from here, you remove one pesh from there. So this became ilahu. Ilahu. One dhamma went away. Okay? And we also know that al is written before that. Okay. So now the word is al ilahu. Okay? When we combine two words in Arabic, where the second word has an alif in the middle, we don't pronounce that. When we combine two words, like Ar-Rahman, for example. Okay? If you combine with Ar-Rahim, then you don't read the alif in between. You say Ar-Rahman-Nir-Rahim. So you don't pronounce the alif. So don't pronounce this alif here. And now what is it? What is left here? Allahu. Allahu. That is the name. Allah is not the name. The full name is Allahu. Allahu. Just like I says Al-Kitabu or Kitabun. So the name of, this is the name, according to one of the opinions, by the rules of the grammars, that is how the word Allahu existed. According to the opinion, this name was given to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and it has always been there. But it also fits the rules of the grammars. Okay? So Allahu is the word. So this will become, if I write down together, it will be written as Allah.
His last word is simply Allah.
Allah.
The word, full word is Allah.
The last.
If you stop, then you don't pronounce the last letter. As I said, last letter always takes the hit.
It's like Rahim.
Yeah. So when you call adhan, you say Allahu Akbar. So you have pronounced the correct word here, because the word is Allahu. Okay. But if this word is the last word, then you have to stop. Subhanallahu. You stop. You say Subhanallah. You do not pronounce the last letters harkat. So this is the fundamental rule. If the word is in the middle of the sentence or beginning of the sentence, you have to pronounce the whole word. You have to pronounce Allahu. You cannot say Allah Akbar. You cannot say. You have to make the full pronouncement. Allahu. And if it is at the end, as I said, Subhanallahu, you stop. You do not pronounce this last letter. Harkat on it. So, Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah. But when you say Allah, you don't say Allahu Akbar. You have to make the full pronouncing of the word Allahu. So remember, the actual word, the way it should be written is Allahu. Kitabun. Al-Kitabu.
Allah is also in many books is called the Zati or the personal name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
That's what I made the statement that according to another opinion, this is the personal name. Okay. And because it also fits the rules of the grammars, so it's easy to understand that it is the God, not any God. So that is Allah. Okay. So that's one word. Okay. So now let's learn one more thing. Okay. So word is Allah. So we leave this word Allah. Okay. Now in Arabic or in English also we have some letters or some words. If I take lam and put a zir under it or a kasra, okay, this means for in English. If I take ba and put a kasra under that, this means with and in also. Okay. If I take these letters mim and noon and sound as min, this means from. Now notice that I am creating a group of words, and if we know the English grammar, these are called prepositions. These words are called prepositions. It's a group of words. Above, below, in, out, those are called with, in, from, for. These are called prepositions. So the English words are prepositions. And in Arabic, for means el, lam with a kasra, li. With means be. And we use these words all the time. Bismillah, be. Min Allah, from Allah. Okay? So these are called harf-e-jar. In English, they are called preposition. In Arabic, they call harf-e-jar. There's a name for them, just like in English they have a name preposition. In Arabic their name is harf-e-jar. Okay. Now, in English, if we take a noun and combine with a preposition, okay, so I will just use the word for and the name of the noun. Okay. For example, for you, okay, or for a country. So I just put the word for and country after that. We can do the same thing. Take the word li, which means for, and combine it with the word Allah, and it will be for Allah. In English, simply just take for and Allah and combine them, or for God. Okay? So combine for and God, so this is for God. Okay? But as I said, in Arabic, each word has some effect on the next word. Okay? So let's do that. If I take and put a li before that,
Then the alif will not be pronounced.
there are many changes will take place. Not one, but many changes will take place. Okay? In English, the meaning is for Allah. Right? In English, I did not change the word for, and I did not change the word for God, for example. If I use the exact English word for God. Okay. It doesn't happen in Arabic. Li or any preposition or any harf-e-jar, when it comes before a noun, in this case it is before the noun, it has a very deep effect on the noun. Many changes it brings in this noun itself. First thing it does, it says, okay, now what is your last letter? It is ha. What is the harkat on that last letter? It says a dhamma or a pesh. So this harf-e-jar says, I don't like that. I'm going to change that. So first damage it does, it says this dhamma goes away, I'm going to bring kasra here. That is the quality of a harf-e-jar.
anytime,
Any noun, any harf-jar, when you combine them, the very first damage it will do, it says, and also remember that I said, mention, the last letter of the noun has either two fathas or two dhammas or two pesh or one pesh. If it is kitabun, it has two peshes. If it is al-kitabu, it has one pesh on it. So there is a pesh always, one or two. So harf-jar says, I'm going to first thing do is look at the noun, look at the last letter, look at the harkat. Harkat means pesh. And I'm going to change that to a zay. That's always the quality of harf-jar. Preposition. English doesn't do any damage to its noun. Arabic does. Okay, so very first change it says, I'm going to make it kasra. Then it says, okay, we have two different words here. Li is one word, or one letter, and Allahu is the other one. It says, if you want to combine me together, then I'm going to do a damage to the first letter also. You don't have to pronounce the first letter alif. Just like when we created the word ilahun, we drop the alif of ilahun. Similarly, you drop the pronunciation of this. Now pronounce this thing. Lillahi, that's the second word of the Quran, Surah AlFatiha. And what is the meaning of that one? All the praise for God, right?
So one question. So the second letter we are always dropping it because it's coming with the harf-jar, or it's just because it's alif?
No. Okay, the harf-jar only does one damage,
Okay.
which is it looks this one and changes to this thing. Okay, its job is done. You can pronounce, if you are a slow reader, you can say li Allahi. You can pronounce, there's nothing wrong in that. But according to the rule of tajweed, you can drop. You have the option of dropping alif here and pronounce lillahi. Okay. Harf-jar does not drop that one. Harf-jar means preposition, lam, only does a damage or a modification to the last letter. Okay. From a pesh to a zay. That is the only thing harf-jar would be. Tajweed will bring another change. Tajweed means pronouncing the Quran according to the rules of pronunciation. Then we do not pronounce this alif. So the word is now lillahi. We are writing it just like that. We are not even writing the alif here anymore. Okay? We are combining lam with Allahi and we are pronouncing lillahi. Okay? So that is, all the praise is for God.
So sometimes we also say that, right? Lillahi ma means to Allah belongs all praise.
Yeah, that's just a translation. All, same thing. All praise belongs to Allah or is for Allah. That's English translation, but the meaning is same. It is for Allah, it belongs to Him or is for Him. It's the English different words, but the rules are same. Okay. Now let's look at the next word here. Okay.
So that the word should be Rabbun then, right?
So exactly. So let's start with the next word. That starts with these three letters: Ra, Ba, and Ba. These are the three root letters of the next word. Okay. When you make a noun, you combine the first and second one this way, like hum or rabb. Then the third letter you take and put a two pesh or two dhammas on it. Okay. So when you pronounce, this is rab bun, two bars. you can write down this as Rabbun with a shadda or tashdeed. Two bars can be written with a shadda. So the word is Rabbun. The original word, the correct word is the Rabbun. Okay? Okay, by the way, the meaning of this thing is to support or to sustain. Rababa is to support or to sustain. And the noun will be sustainer. The one who sustains or provides is Rabbun. So Rabbun means provider or there are many meanings: to provide, to support, to sustain. But the Rabbun means sustainer or provider or supporter. Okay, so that's the meaning of Rabbun. Now, let's keep the word. Now we have the word Rabbun. Rabbun means sustainer. Let's keep one of them. Sustainer, the one who sustains, he gives you everything, provides everything, and supports in all the ways. Okay, so that is Rabbun. Then the word after that, and I'm going to leave this right now up to this point only. I'll come back to this one. Okay. Let's take a look at these three letters. Ain, Lam and Mim. Okay. These three letters have several meanings, but the simple meaning is to know about something. Ilm, knowledge. So alama means to know. Ain, Lam and Mim is alama means to know. Okay. Now, you have a lot of names that you know. Sajid, Abid, Alim. What is the meaning of Sajid? One who makes sajda. What's the meaning of Abid? One who worships. So when you put alif between the first and the second letter, like for example, the three basic letters are Sin, Jim and Da. Sajada. Sajda means to make sajda. If I put an alif between these two, Saji, Dun, last two letters, the last letter has to have two fish on it. Saji Dun is the actual word. Saji Dun means the one who makes sajda. Abidun is actually a word, the one who worships. Alimun is the one we call alim, the knowledgeable person, scholar. So the doer is created by putting an alif between the two letters. Performer or doer or actor. Okay. So in this case, if I put an alif here, it will become alimun. Alimun. Alimun means scholar, knowledgeable person. Okay. But there is one other thing that also happens because in Arabic, three root letters may have multiple meanings. Okay. So alimun means scholar or knowledgeable person, one who knows is alim. Right, the one who knows. Okay. If I make, there's this one right again. If I make one change here, and on this letter lam, if I put a fatah or a zabar, instead of zair here, I just made one change. So this became alamun. Alam means world. Okay, so this is a different meaning. This means world. So as I said, that same root letters can bring different meanings. If you say alim or alimun, scholar. If you change pronounce with the fatha, this means word. Okay. So just like Muslim is one Muslim. What is the plural of Muslim? Muslimun. Muslimun, munafiqun, we know these words come in a lot in the Quran for the plural. Muslim or Muslimun or Muslimin. There is a difference in there also. Okay. So this word alimin, this lam has a fatha and this mim is actually under here. Mim has it over this kasra. Alamin is the plural of this. Alamun. Okay. If it was alimin, it will be the plural of this one. Okay. But here it is alamun. Its plural is words. Alamun means one word. Alamin means many words. Okay. Now, we'll go into a little, actually that I will start covering in the next class, but I just want to give here one. So when we take the word Rabbun, there was a word Rabbun, which means sustainer. And the next word is Alamin, sustainer of the world. Sustainer of the world. So all the praise is for Allah, who is the sustainer or provider of all the worlds, all the universes, all the alameen. Okay. I have skipped few details here. We will cover those details here.
So the preposition which was there in lillahi, that changes also in the Rabbul.
Okay. So that's I'm going to point that now, but we'll cover into more details. Okay. What is making Rabbun to Rabbi? There is no preposition here before this one. The preposition or harf-jar belong to this one, right?
But it continues.
No. Initially you may think it continued there. But there is another rule here of Arabic, is that in Arabic, if you have a noun and you have a sifat of that noun, sifat means adjective, quality. Okay? For example, you say, the boy is beautiful. The beautiful is the adjective of the boy, right? Sifat of the boy, the quality of the boy, right? So that sentence is called the adjective. Okay? Here, the word is Allah, and its sifat, its quality is Rabb. Allah, the sustainer. Sustaining is the sifat, Asma'ul Husna of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, attribute of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's adjective of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In the rule of Arabic language, the sound of the noun has to match with the sound of the adjective. The last letter sound. So last letter was he here, lillahi. So this has to match with Rabb. Instead of Rabbo, it has to become Rabbi. If it was lillaha, this would become Rabba. If it was lillahu, it would become Rabbu. So this last letter sound has to match adjective sound. Very important. And these things will come so much, we will be repeating them. Okay? But that is the reason Rabbu changed to Rabbi. Okay? Because it is the sifat of this noun. It is the adjective of the noun. If this Allahu was not there, then this will remain with a pesh. Rabbu. Because it's called sifat, adjective. Okay, so adjective has to follow the sound. And as I said, the last letter is so important that it has effect on the previous or the next word or anything. In this case, this last letter is hitting on the next word. In this case, the letter of Lam has the effect on the last letter of Allah, but in this case, this last letter went and affected the last letter of this word. So in Arabic, and this is not random. Once we start following the more ayats of the Quran, you will really know the beauty. Think this way. What is easy to pronounce? Lillahi Rabbi or Lillahi Rabbu? No. Rabbi is easy to pronounce. Because the sound of kasra or zir comes out from the bottom of the mouth. Lillahi Rabbi, easy going. If you start switching the words Lillahi Rabbu, then it will be a little difficult. Rhythm will not be there in that. You'll be okay, but that softness of the flow will not be there. So, because the language was spoken first, it was written later. The Arabic was a spoken language. So, in order to speak softly, they started speaking Lillahi. And the Quran did not do it. Quran just followed the rules of the previous Arabs who were living and speaking Arabic language. Quran just followed the rules. Quran did not come with these rules. It used the language, the accent, the pronunciation of the locals and revealed in their language. So they were pronouncing this way, that if two words had a zir here, then the next word had a zir. The sifat of that word has a zir. They were pronouncing it that way. And why were they pronouncing? To make it easy on the tongue. Lillahi Rabbi. So try to listen the recitation of some Qari now. Qari Basis or any Qari, and try to listen these two words next to each other. And you will see the smoothness, the softness. Okay. So then they will start hitting your ears. It will look more beautiful because now you know why these are being pronounced that way. Okay? So we will inshallah stop here, but lot is left in these two words yet to complete. Okay? We haven't done a lot of things here yet, but we just did up to this point. Okay? And then I did not even touch on Auzubillahi minash shaitanir rajeem.
An hour gone.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, but there is so much learning here. And you learn through the Quran, so it will stay with you.
So we finish, inshallah, just
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because this is a repetition in the Quran. So if you know these things, alhamdulillah, you will feel it. Will enhance your understanding once you stand behind the Imam and listen to the Quran. Even tonight when you stand, try to listen and focus on these three words here in the Quran. You will feel a different way of understanding the recitation.
Sheikh Jibril was taking the class for Tajweed and he was 1 hour on Alhamdulillah.
I'm sure. But he was only Tajweed, but here is
Or more grammar, much deeper.
I think it is actually good.
Good class.